I just have to tell you about this short sleeve linen shirt I got from Quince. I've been wearing it all summer, and everyone comments on it. Brick red, fits perfectly, and keeps me so cool in the summer heat. And the best part, it will literally never go out of style. I feel like when I'm shopping at Quince, it's all about quality over quantity. Perfect for business, travel, or just hanging out. Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers, or go to quince.com/randomhorror9. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's quince.com/randomhorror9.
This episode is brought to you by Facebook. So you were scrolling on Marketplace, and there it was, the bike you'd been searching for. You sent a message, and it turned out the seller was super chatty, kind of funny, and an avid cyclist. The next thing you know, you're in a cycling crew. Well, a community cycling group. The thing about Facebook, you might find more than what you're looking for. From a browse to a bike ride, this summer find more on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Craner, and my friend Cecil Baldwin loves horror movies, and he's helping make this genre more approachable for me and hopefully for you too, one film at a time in a random order. Are you squeamish about horror movies? Don't worry, we'll tell you what happens. Adore horror movies? Well, great, watch along with us each week. Oh, speaking of this week, we have another live stream this Saturday, August 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern over at patreon.com/randomhorror9. This month, we're talking about the original Saw from 2004 because we like some lighthearted summer fun. Our $5 Patreon members get to be part of our monthly live streams, and they get to help us pick the movies we watch each month. We, of course, do a random draw of all nominated films, and they get an ad-free feed of all Random Horror 9 episodes. So join our Patreon, and then join us this Saturday, August 15th at 1 p.m. New York time as we discuss Saw from 2004. That's at patreon.com/randomhorror9. But that is later. Let us talk about today's episode. As always, check the show notes for content warnings about this week's episode discussion and film. This week, we randomly rolled a 1 for Wild Card and a 4 for 1980s. Here is episode 336.
Top number generation. Podcast number 9.
This week on Random Number Generator, Horror Podcast number 9, The Company of Wolves, 1984. Warning! Spoilers ahead.
As a person who was a child in the 1980s, I have to tell you I was shook a few years ago to learn that the first documented use of the word mullet was by the Beastie Boys in their track Mullet Head from, and get this, from 1994. Mullet, of course, meaning a hairstyle that's business in the front and party in the back. So Slate journalist Willa Paskin was the one whose research I read into this, and also on her podcast Decoder Ring, she covered it. Everyone who was around in the 1980s, myself included, say it's not possible that mullet wasn't invented until 1994. I know we were calling that hairstyle a mullet long before then. And I think both can be true. From 2026, it seems impossible for common vernacular and slang to not be documented and readily available because anyone can print anything right here on the internet right now. But in the 1980s, you needed a major label to get songs published. Same with books or essays or articles, and those institutions just weren't using gross slang like mullet freely, nor were they likely ever talking about or to people with mullets. Meanwhile, everyone's saying the word, but it just takes a while for it to make its way into print. Writing something down is a great way to record stories, but the great thing about language is that it's constantly changing. Folklore is oral. Slang, grammar, popular cliches, etc., even stories themselves can change meaning through oral tradition. Take Little Red Riding Hood. No one knows how long this story has existed, but it's hundreds of years old. French author Charles Perrault was the first to actually write it down in the 17th century, and his version just ends with the wolf devouring both Granny and Red. It's classic folk horror to tell your kids, don't stray from the path, don't trust strangers, here's what happens if you do. Later, the Grimm brothers added a woodsman to cut open the wolf and save Granny and child. Very Jonah and the Whale, how do digestion work? And in the 1970s, we've got Angela Carter telling the sexual revolution, hold my beer, as she created her own version of Little Red Riding Hood with her short story, The Company of Wolves. If you've listened to our show, you know that the 1970s culture was obsessed with girl, you'll be a woman soon. And it's creepy, especially that Neil Diamond song, or any other lyric that references 16-year-olds from grown men's point of view. But Carter's story is a second-wave feminist allegory about not just men being predators, but being protectors of girls and women, that women can protect themselves and also make their own choices sexually. All of these are ending with question marks. In Neil Jordan's film adaptation of The Company of Wolves, it feels like age is nothing but a number, and Rosalind's transition to womanhood is on her own timeline. Though there are some mulleted bros here that certainly want to speed her along. Hi, Cecil.
Hi, Jeffrey.
What is the cutest predatory animal?
Oh my! I mean, probably a cat of some sort, little like a bobcat, or they seem awful snuggly.
What are those called? Palace cats. They're apparently really vicious predators, but they look like sweet little shelter kittens. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking cat. I have been fed stuff on my For You page on TikTok about cheetahs being very friendly to humans.
Okay, sure. I can see that.
Cheetahs are different than the other big predatory cats in that they're not, I mean, they're muscly, but only for running at fast speeds.
Yeah.
And they can, take down a gazelle or whatever. But other than their speed, they don't have a lot to protect them. If another thing catches them, they could be real fucked up. But so around humans, they really take to humans and they purr and meow and
they're like, you're
cuddle.
cool.
Yeah. So,
but honestly, like a tiger. Come on.
They're gorgeous.
I'm tiger over lion. That's me. Like in adorability.
Yes.
I think tigers are much more overall the more attractive cat. And listen, lions are awesome. Lions are great. But lions are also can be sort of mangy sometimes.
I remain a stan of the bear. Just any and all bears.
Sure.
I think bears are really adorable. And I know that the big white ones do not want hugs.
No, they don't. I mean, they might, but they want forever hugs.
They sure as hell do. I haven't seen this movie for a bit, Cecil, this Company of Wolves. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's really interesting because, coming off of Mother, we've got another allegory style film.
Yeah, we do.
This one, it feels more like, it is a kid's story, but obviously told for grown-ups.
Sure.
And I can't quite put my finger on it. There's something indelibly 80s about this movie, more than just surface level. I mean, the hairstyles are very 80s.
The makeup choices, because girl, her lip gloss is popping.
Just wear that shit to bed. Candy apple red lip gloss. Mm-hmm. Take that.
It wasn't even candy apple red. It was like orange red.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. For me, the thing that kind of struck me as the most 80s is it's a lot of this looks like commercial. Commercial photography, commercial filmmaking, music video filmmaking. Like you could take any one of these stories and put a Whitesnake song behind it.
You're right. It's very music video.
Probably, it has that MTV generation gloss to it.
Yeah, and even the way it's kind of broken up into all these sub-stories that it is kind of it's kind of entering the sort of non-linear storytelling that I think MTV helped usher in.
Yeah, I love a story within a dream. Uh-huh. A storyteller telling a story within a dream is the bulk of this movie.
I'm really fascinated, and I would love to do more deep dive into not just the sexual revolution, but the aftermath, the the way the sexual revolution just kind of bled into present day, especially toward the end of the 20th century, because the free love kind of 1960s Charles Manson era, Woodstock era stuff was very different than where we were in the 80s and 90s. And obviously AIDS has a lot to do with that. But everyone in film and music, like everyone's really fascinated with 16-year-old girls. And I know that's been a trope in pop music going back to the 50s. But there's something about Valerie and her Week of Wonders we've covered on this show. And I feel like we've seen a lot of these types of movies, even for this podcast, that this seems to be diving into that area. I don't know if we'll get to all of that. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. If people want to add to that in the comments on Patreon, please let us know. But we're gonna see an hour and a half long music video, basically.
Pretty much. But this music video, honestly, I think this music video would be best. The music underneath it, sure, Guns N' Roses, sure, something high 80s. But honestly, Dr. Doolittle's If I Could Talk to the Animals, I think would make an awful cute mashup.
It would be a very cute mashup. I mean, obviously, the big dinner, the kind of like French aristocracy dinner scene, that's November Rain right there. Right? That's essentially just puppy dog November Rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
I think I've been to that queer play night, Puppy Dog November Rain. Bring your own mask.
The final sequence of our Fabio Wolf. I mean, that's Whitesnake right there, basically. Sure. Yeah.
For me, it's more that like every third shot has an animal in it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so our establishing kind of title sequence is a German Shepherd running through the forest. Okay, cute. And it's like this German Shepherd just going to town. His favorite owner is home or something.
Yeah.
But over the course of this German Shepherd, there's a rabbit, there's a little white rabbit in the woods, there's a frog, there's a crane, there's a rat, there's spiders. Like this movie is chock-a-block. Like they literally went to whatever Ireland, UK,
pet
animal
store, animals in the woods,
and they're like, give me one of everything. Except for wolves, we only have one of those, and then the rest we're just going to put some, I don't know, German wolfhounds and spray paint them.
Yeah, they spray painted some wolfhounds, basically. Yeah.
Do you want to hear an interesting tidbit about this movie?
I 100% do.
So clearly there's a lot of dogs as wolves in this movie. But there is an actual wolf in like 2 scenes. And one of them is where like the wolf is trying to catch a wolf with a duck. And the other one's kind of at the very end where she's like, let me tell you a story, Mr. Wolf.
Right.
But here's the thing. Wolves really can't be trained. So when they had the wolf on set, they had a sniper whose entire job was to watch the wolf in case it flipped out and started eating people. And their entire job was to put that wolf down. That did not come to pass, but let's just put some things in perspective that you're like, okay, Miss Lansbury, here's your mark. You're going to say this. And then Miss Patterson, so in this, you have to take this and put this over here. And then, just make sure that the sniper has access to the wolf at all times. So in case it lunges for your throat, we can put it down. All right, everybody ready? On 1, action.
Oh my God. That's amazing. It's horrifying, truly horrifying. I mean, clearly that sniper did a terrible job because that wolf managed to knock Angela Lansbury's head right off.
It did. Just like...
We're like, oh, yeah, I guess it happened so fast you just couldn't know that that's what it was about to do.
In this universe, Murder, She Wrote never happened.
Well, we had to just pause production until we could get her head back on,
That's
I guess.
We just staple gunned it back on.
Okay, so I love this. I love the footage of this dog running through the woods. It's so good. It's such a good tracking shot.
Yeah. Like, I think they've got to be like on a motorcycle or something because they are like neck and neck with this dog.
We've got Mommy and Daddy in their big white mansion in the English countryside.
Yeah.
And they have 2 daughters. They have Alice, the older teenager daughter, and a younger... they never say her age at 13, I
Oh,
think.
they do. It's like 12 and 3/4.
Okay. Rosaline and...
Rosaline?
Rosaline, sorry. I think they say Rosaline. It's obviously Rosaline because of all the red. Rosaline's just sulking in her room. That's all she does. She's such a pest, Mummy.
Mummy. But you were a pest when you were 12 years old, so get on up there. Tell her Mummy and Daddy are home. Mm-hmm. She's just been sulking in her room. Have you been after my lipstick again? Yes, she has.
All of your lipstick in one fell swoop. She used all of it.
She really did.
There's also a thing, too, that's interesting here, which is we get shots of creepy dolls. Like that opening shot is in the woods. There's like the dog is digging around some trees.
Yeah.
But buried there is an old doll. And I think in a lot of horror movies, we're like, well, that doll's fucking cursed. You're going to find it under your bed later tonight. Mm-hmm. But her room is, Rosaline's room is filled with these different types of dolls. And I realized, the dolls aren't meant to look creepy until they're in the dream.
Yeah.
To me, that's a failure because I've seen Poltergeist and I can no longer look at dolls.
What was the movie we just watched? Was it Dolls? I think it was just Dolls with like the giant murderous teddy bear.
Yes. Yes,
like,
it was Dolls.
Those were more like porcelain baby dolls.
Yeah.
En masse. This is like, again, this idea of what is antique has the potential to be scary.
Uh-huh.
Which, again, I find is a particularly 80s horror movie occurrence. Like, not even a trope. It's just a theme, a leitmotif of horror movies in the 80s, which is, why aren't you playing with G.I. Joe and He-Man and Barbie? Like, this handmade sailor sack face doll, that is nightmare fuel.
Sailor sack face is quite a choice in doll design.
Yeah.
It really is.
In the Navy.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm getting out the band names list. Sailor sack face.
Sailor sack face and the Raggedy Dolls.
Okay, so she's dreaming hard. She's going to stay in dream state. Pretty much the rest of this movie.
Isn't that interesting?
I found that very interesting. This was a very cool choice that the way Alice goes upstairs, you can see from the outside that this is maybe a 3-story mansion. It looks like a tall 2-story, but you could see where there might be a third attic space. But she goes up like 7 flights of stairs to get to her sister's room.
She does.
And that top floor, there's like pigeons in the hallway.
Of course, more animals.
More animals, but it kind of implies we've entered a different space than the house itself.
Almost like she's locked away in a tower.
Yes, very
one
Rapunzel.
could say.
Yes, totally. Just going to say it right now. I'm trying my best to avoid singing or quoting any part of Stephen Sondheim's Into the Woods.
Yeah, it's a tough
I make
tough ask.
no promises, but I am just letting you know I'm working on it, okay?
And I know things now that I never knew before.
So we go into this dream state of Rosaline's, and it is Alice.
I know, which took me a second.
Uh-huh.
Because one, you cast two, even though there's like a 4 to 5 year age difference, these girls look similar enough in that they both kind of look like Jennifer Connelly. Tall Jennifer Connelly and short Jennifer Connelly.
Yes.
But I was like, wait, okay, it's her. Oh, she's having, because it kind of, the last time we touch base with reality, Alice is like just whispering pest, like a curse at Rosaline's door. And so Rosaline, of course, is dreaming about her mean sister getting, horrified by by Rosaline's toys and dolls. And eventually she just has I don't know, a hysterical shit fit because there's dogs out in the woods.
Yeah.
That don't do anything to her, mind you.
No.
They're just around.
Alice in this dream sequence not only gets grabbed by this giant teddy bear, and then giant sailor Sackface grabs her. She runs into a doll's house, which she's like, oh, well, let me take time to look in the doll house, even though I'm being chased through the woods, and there's rats in it. And
well, there's like a rat, and it's the cleanest, cutest looking little rat that she just throws something at and then goes, ugh, and then runs away. Like, that rat is minding its own business.
There are giant pipe organ pipes coming out of the ground playing big
I love that.
churchy. It's so cool.
Like the giant mushrooms as well. I mean, clearly, like, naming this character Alice is not a coincidence.
No. I just 3 cheers to this movie for all of the practical effects and set design.
Yeah.
Because we're clearly pre-CGI, but also none of this movie feels like maybe some establishing shots, definitely establishing shots, but none of this movie is shot on location.
So I found that it's there's like 3 shots, and it's the opening sequence of the dog running outside. It's the when the devil appears in his Rolls Royce. That was outside. And then the exterior of the house. Everything else is shot on, some British sound studio.
Which I really love. I love that sort of designing. It lends a theatricality to things. And I think theatricality is so much especially for a tale like this, you really need theatricality. You do not need realism. And of the practical effects of wolf transformation are so more puppety than, like, they are kind of like glistening and sinewy. Yeah. But to me, they felt closer to the Wolf House than The Howling, if that makes sense.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
like
sure,
they felt more stagey. They felt more mechanical.
I can see that.
Yeah, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, we'll definitely have The Howling in particular has like this real gritty 1970s feel to it. Like everything's a little dirty.
Yes.
This is sparkly. This is like one step away from, oh God, what's that Tom Cruise movie? Legend.
Yeah. Great example. Yeah. Well, Alice gets surrounded by sweet, sweet puppy dogs.
I love that. Okay, so this first shot of like the dogs en masse, where they're just like stacked up on some, like boulder outcropping. And then we're going to get quite a few of these of like the shots of orange eyes. And then someone goes, hup, and then 25 dogs just start running. And they do this a lot, but honestly, it's kind of great.
Now that you're describing what's happening in this scene, my mind is flashing back to Voyage of the Rock Aliens and the Jermaine Jackson video at the beginning with Pia Zadora. Yes. And it's all the dudes running through the jungle off the beach. And music video.
Music video.
So my question to you, Cecil, is how did Alice die from wolf? Because we are now in the past, old school fairy tale era village.
Yeah.
And Alice is in her casket with the mourning mother and father and Rosaline, and she looks pristine.
Oh my God, like porcelain skin.
Did the wolves just give her a heart attack?
That was my, like, she like gave her, she scared herself to death.
Okay, perfect. Rosaline is she's now a young kiddo in this old village. Mummy and Daddy are saying, you're going to stay with grandmother for tonight.
Yeah. Give these parents just like one night to grieve. Okay.
Intro to Granny, played by Angela Lansbury.
Dame Angela Lansbury.
Thank you.
The thing that makes Granny so great in this movie is that she's kind of a cunt.
Yeah. 100%.
Like Granny is not the best. But in that, she is the best.
She is serving it so well. And I also love her, her dialogue is so good because it is old wives' tale, right? It is literally an old wives' tale.
Yeah. She's an old wife.
She's an old wife.
Tale.
Yeah. And also it is rapid fire and everything just builds on itself. Everything she says is folklore.
Yeah.
And it is not to be trusted. But in the logic of this movie, it is to be trusted.
Like, it's the ideas that Granny's been around longer than anybody else that Rosalie knows. Probably older than anyone else in the village, except the old priest, who's kind of the male counterpart of someone who has been around and has seen more than these young people could imagine. And Granny is very set in her ways. She lives the way the fuck out in the woods. Like in the most, oh my God, like this set piece of Granny's cabin with this giant tree out front. Granny is borderline witch. Like there's nothing overtly magical about her except for her weird mink stole that comes to life every now and then.
Right, right.
But Granny's not, she's not mixing up potions. She's just doing normal Granny shit. But because she's removed from the village, her thoughts and opinions on the outside world have sort of calcified, one could say.
Yeah, they really have. And I love how at odds with the priest she is. Like, I would absolutely watch the sitcom of Granny and the priest.
Yeah.
They have a very strong clash of how they move through their days. And he's very much like, this old lady's full of shit. Yeah. But it seems playful and fun. I don't know. It just cracks me up.
One would think maybe they hooked up back in the day and it just never worked out.
Yeah.
Let's see. But mostly, how do you tell if someone is furry on the inside?
Their eyebrows are going to meet.
Which honestly, I think is kind of hot. I'm not going to lie. Like if I met a guy and like he has like one giant eyebrow, if he has one giant eyebrow and a large nose, I'm probably going to fuck him. I'm going to try and fuck him.
When you add in the kind of like the low cut shirt with the perfect amount of chest hair and like long 80s hair metal hair.
Yeah.
It's all very masculine but
in a bodice ripper.
Right.
Fabio
way.
Like Fabio kind of way. My favorite is when we have young groom played by the amazing Stephen Rea and the huntsman who's kind of I don't know why they call him the huntsman. He hunts pheasants, but he's, vampire Lestat as werewolf.
Yeah.
The werewolf Lestat.
Well, it's so funny because this is Neil Jordan, so we're 11 years removed from him doing Vampire Lestat or Interview with a Vampire.
But I love the fact that they're like, I've been living as a wolf for the last 10 years, and then they turn into a man, and they're like, my long flowing hair, no facial hair whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Nope. Clearly, Welsh people are unable to grow beards.
It's really funny. I do remember this from the 80s. Like, beards were so out of fashion in the 1980s and on into the 90s. Like, I think it was the 2000s before the kind of the millennials sort of started bringing back. Yeah, the hipster beard was the watershed moment there. And then we maybe we went a little too far with your $35 beard oil. Yeah. Which is so funny because facial hair, body hair, especially in the context of the beast that lies within. Right.
We're literally going to see some of the twinkiest twinks grow chest hair in real time and become animals.
I fucking love that. That.
As a gay man, I'm like, again, I can tell you exactly where in Bushwick, Brooklyn that gay sex night is.
But then I have to get on the M train.
You do. Okay. Actually, it might be off the G, if I remember right.
Okay. I can do the G. The G's not far. So the rules are, from Granny, never stray from the path.
Yep.
Never eat a windfall apple. Love that phrase.
That is true. I actually, not to interrupt, but I had I grew up next to a granny. Her name was Miss Jenny. And she had kids that were all kind of moved away, but she was literally the sweetest old little steel magnolias granny you could ever want. And she had a crabapple tree in her backyard. And she was very don't eat those. Don't never pick up. I mean, don't eat the crab apples in general, but also it was me and my brother's job to go in and clean out the like wormy, gross, rotting apples under her tree, and we were happy to do it because Miss Jenny was delightful.
It's so good. This is how we have rules. This is why we tell stories, so we understand what we need to do as a society to stay alive. And the final rule of the 3 is never trust a man whose eyebrows meet.
Sure.
So, as a Dallas, this is for sports fans out there. As a Dallas Mavericks fan, I will tell you that I don't trust Anthony Davis one bit. So she says, Granny does, that a wolf is not always as it seems. They may come in different disguises. In fact, there are wolves whose hair is on the outside, but the worst kinds of wolves, the hair is on the inside.
Like in their mouth? They have like... And it's important to remember that Rosaline's sister has literally just died from a wolf attack.
Right.
Which I think is the weird thing about this movie is that no one seems to be very sad about it.
It just honestly fades into the background, and we never think about her again. I really thought the ending of this movie, while cliche, but it feels like the ending of this movie should have been just she wakes up from a dream. She's a changed girl. She's a woman, girl. You'll be a woman soon. Yeah. But she goes down to dinner with her sister and mom and dad in present day, and we just all move on with our lives. Yeah. But we really never see Alice again or hear fuck all about her.
Nope. She gone. The only acknowledgement of sort of the passing of Alice is Granny's like, okay, so I have this amazing cashmere yarn that I was going to make for your sister because she was a princess, but I guess you'll do. You're my princess now. And then she knits her Red Riding Cloak, which honestly, as someone who is a longtime knitter, that piece is the shit.
It's really good.
I was like, ooh, ribbed? Yeah, it's doing little twisted ribbing. She's got the I don't even know how you do it, but essentially how you make the yoke on your shoulders of your sweater. It's this kind of lacy, loose knit. I'm like, I know I've seen that before. I know that's a stitch. I don't even know how to do that. And it looks amazing.
Well, we're going to get our first story. This is a borderline anthology film.
Yes, it is. Yeah, for sure.
So our story 1, there was, from Granny, there was a woman in the village and she married a traveling man.
A traveler?
Oh, my goodness.
Which, again, I had to go back and look up Neil Jordan, the Neil Jordan filmography, because I was like, I know this director. I was like, oh, very Irish.
Yeah.
The Crying Game. Yes. A lot of other... what's it? The Collins, the Liam Neeson.
Michael Collins, yeah.
Michael Collins. So there is, it makes perfect sense that this first one's like, don't trust the travelers, but also, aren't they hot? Those outsiders, they're going to fuck you up. But also, you've never had dick like that in your life.
So we cut to this woman and her young husband. We've just come from the wedding. We're now carrying across the threshold to the wedding night bed in the tiny little cottage. Oh, and she's
there's a hedgehog in her bed.
Oh, oops! It's a hedgehog.
Hedgehog tax.
And she is telling him, she's trying to be seductive and enticing. She's like, I love the way your eyebrows meet.
Hot.
Mm-hmm. He looks a little reticent by everything. He's feeling some odd feelings.
Yeah.
He accidentally steps on this hedgehog, and he's like, oh God. He grabs it.
Chucks it outside.
He goes, yeah. And when he opens the door, we can see the moonlight hit his face.
And he's like, oh, I'm feeling feelings.
I'm going to go out for cigarettes. I'll be right back.
He's also naked. I love this moment where it's he's getting undressed. And this, the only nudity we see is male nudity.
Of course, yeah.
In this movie, I think. And she's like, come into the light. I want to see your body.
Uh-huh. Oh, his eyes have very much changed. He has got the very what color would you call that?
Eyes.
Golden green hazel eye.
Which honestly, sorry, Granny, to, disagree with you, but like, yeah, eyebrows meeting in the middle. If your man has yellow gold eyes, I think that's the first sign he's a werewolf.
I think so too. And so he says, "Oh, I feel the call of nature." And he goes out.
She's like, "Oh, okay."
He goes out for those cigarettes and never comes back.
I would like to point out that what I love about fairy tale writing, and if you've ever seen The Storyteller, the Jim Henson Storyteller series, it's like one of my favorite TV series of all time. It is available. Please go watch it. But there's a certain sort of patter to fairy tale writing that when you get it, like when it hits, it's amazing. And when it doesn't, it sounds really trite and kind of cheesy. But the repeated language in this script is one of the things that helps tie all these little anthology bits together. So when Granny says, the young bride waits and waits and waits again, an hour and a half later, we're going to have, I think Rosalind said she runs and runs and runs again. So besides the fact that all these stories involve wolves, clearly, but there is the storytelling, the writing of it stitches it all together, which I really appreciated.
The bride gets up to go see where he's gone late at night, and she peeks out the window, and then she hears howling outside, and she sees a whole wolf pack out there.
And she's like, "Oh my God, those wolves ate my husband."
Next day, villagers are out looking for him, looking for his body, whatever. And they're like, well, didn't you say he was a traveling man? Yeah, I think he just up and left. Right. She's like, we don't even see his footprints out here. She's like, look right here. He was by the river. They clearly dragged him away. They're murderers. Those wolves.
Yeah, well, there's nothing we can really do about this.
Later, she finds a new husband who is awesome. What a delightful fellow.
Yeah.
So she's, but I do love this. Oh yeah, I don't want to skip this. It cuts back to Rosaline and Granny. Granny has just said later she found a new husband, and Rosaline says, and they lived happily ever after. Oh no, child, indeed they did not.
No, they did not.
So our village lady has crying kids.
Okay. I have never feared for an actor's safety. It's rare when I do. But girl, you have a knife really close to that baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are unhingedly peeling those potatoes next to like two small children.
It's a lot on that tight little set there too.
Yeah.
Also just like sitting by the fire with that long hair. Like how close are you to that fire with that wig?
Her hair is kind of amazing though.
It is good. It's really good. I don't even know if I don't think that's a wig. I just think she's got really
who knows
great hair.
But it's that kind of like she's got her flower crown in, on her wedding night. And it's just like that hair would not exist without hairspray, which as we know is a hallmark of 80s.
Absolutely.
You don't get volume like that without hairspray, without killing the ozone.
No, without destroying all of New Zealand. Yep.
But you know what? Maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Then one winter's night, that first husband returns home, but this time he's like, he's gotten very Fabio looking. Like he has gone very like long hair.
Yeah.
Again, bodice ripper, no beard.
Yeah, no beard, no, because apparently he's shaving every single day. Of
course. And he comes in and he's got his hazel eyes. He says, I'm starving. Do you want some food? What did I just say?
I'm not going to tell you twice.
He says, who are these children? Oh, you're a whore.
Yeah.
He's just shouting whore. He goes to attack her, but before he does that, time to peel off his face.
Yeah.
I'm going to argue unnecessary to go peeling off the face. It looks like it would have come off on its own.
Probably.
Given the other things that his body goes through.
That's just step one, though.
Yep.
It's like the preamble.
Yeah.
I know we've not gotten to this movie on the podcast. We will, if I have my way. But there's a similar kind of like face rip character in Nightbreed that I really love, which is a similar time period. But yeah, I'm going to peel off my cheeks. But then so this movie has two major solo wolf transformations. There's the en masse one, which is the wolf party, Wolf Alice party. But there's two solo ones. And this one it's hard to say which one I like more. I think I like this first one more, and I think it's great that they put this in the very first story. Well, the second story, if you don't count the Alice's dream. Because normally when we get wolf transformation, it's like, how do we get from skin to fur? That's kind of one of the big problems that, as a designer, you have to kind of... In this one, they're like, what if no skin?
Mm-hmm.
And so we get this, like, bodies exhibit musculature that honestly is pretty fucking sick.
It's really sick. I love, like I said earlier, how mechanical it is, because it's not only that, he's got still a humanoid skeleton. It's basically like you said, bodies exhibit looking just muscle over skeleton, but his snout or his jaw juts forward like a wolf suddenly.
The minute it goes from humanoid to canine skull face, that is the scariest part of this movie.
Yeah, it is.
Because that's demonic. That's truly demonic shit.
Skull face switchblade is what that is. Yeah, just like click and it pops out. Yeah. And also the way the body elongates, and you can see it doesn't hide the fact that it is body within a tube within a tube growing out. Close-ups on the paws forming, and
he doesn't even have paws. They're like little like creepy bone fingers.
Yeah,
that he's like, and she's like, get the fuck away from me with those.
Anyways, well, he doesn't get a chance to do much damage because current husband returns home.
It's the dude from Downton Abbey.
I've never seen Downton Abbey, so
it's like the main butler guy from Downton Abbey, looking very young and svelte.
Okay,
but also like he kind of comes in and what is he? He decapitates the wolf.
He
right?
grabs the axe next to the door. Yeah,
and I fucking love. This is one of two beheadings we're gonna get, and both of them don't end the way you think that they will.
Agreed.
Because there's no blood. Just like clean off in a very, again, Alice in Wonderland off with her head kind of. We're not dealing with the viscera and this is not realistic. And that head goes flying through the air and lands in a very commercially lit bucket of milk. Wolf head goes in, fake Stephen Rea head bobs to the surface.
It's so good.
It's so pretty. Like, I know the 80s had its problems, but really, rampant materialism and capitalism does kind of throw up some pretty cool shit every once in a while.
When you throw it to the artists, yeah, absolutely. It's great, and it's such a cool effect. It's, again, so theatrical, and I love that.
And it's all in kind of slow-mo, and the bride is like, oh, he looks the same way he did when I married him. To which new groom just like smacks her in the face.
Yeah.
Which begs, like, did you not tell your new husband about what happened? Or did you, probably knowing the sexual politics of this movie, you probably did tell him. Uh-huh. And even he's like, whore.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you're a lady in a 1400s village.
Yeah, and I think that is somewhat of the point of Granny's story to her. Like, that's how the story ends, with him smacking her.
Yeah.
Rosalind says, I'd never let a man strike me. And Granny says, well, men are all very nice until they've had their way with you. It's bedtime.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Enough yarn scheming for now.
Starting or growing your own business can be intimidating and lonely at times. Your to-do list may feel endless with new tasks, and lists can easily begin to overrun your life. So finding the right tool that not only helps you out, but simplifies everything as a built-in business partner can be a game changer. For millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From household names like Gymshark, Rare Beauty, and Heinz, to brands just getting started. Shopify has hundreds of ready-to-use templates that can help you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand's style. And you can tackle all the important tasks in one place, from inventory to payments to analytics and more. No need to save multiple websites or try to figure out what platform is hosting the tool that you need. And if people haven't heard about your brand, you can get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you, with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns to reach customers wherever they're scrolling or strolling. Start your business today with the industry's best business partner, Shopify, and start hearing. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm.
This episode is brought to you by Facebook. So you were scrolling on Marketplace, and there it was, the bike you'd been searching for. You sent a message, and it turned out the seller was super chatty, kind of funny, and an avid cyclist. The next thing you know, you're in a cycling crew. Well, a community cycling group. The thing about Facebook, you might find more than what you're looking for. From a browse to a bike ride, this summer find more on Facebook.
And then we kind of get to meet, I don't know if this character has a name, but essentially he's
the
young
ginger boy
of the village.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who's
because
very
then we're going to get this little psychodrama. Hey, do you want to play? You don't play with me anymore. Do you want a kiss? I'll give you a kiss. Do you want to go for a walk?
This character is so interesting to me. And I feel like the movie is on the right path. But I think if you do this story 40 years later, I think it could be a lot more interesting in present day kind of politics around. And also, I think you have to elongate it. I think it's a little tough as a 12 and a quarter year old as our central character. Yeah. But they are certainly playing with going from boys and girls not liking each other.
On the cusp. Yeah.
But learning to like each other. But also he represents a sort of establishment view of woman as possession. And I think he represents exactly what Granny just told her, which is men are very sweet to you until they get what they want.
Because he's all like, here's some, hey, like when he comes, he's like, I have something to show you. And she's like, what is it? Because last year it would have been, ew, look at a gross thing. But this year it's, here's some pretty flowers. Would you go on a walk with me unaccompanied? And she's like, I guess. Why would I want to do that? And two, I got to ask my parents.
Yeah, because his reasoning is like, because that's what we do. Like, that's the tradition.
We're the only two people the same age in this village.
Yeah, we're the only two kids in 7th grade.
And it's, I love this sort of the family dynamic. Again, David Warner plays her father. David Warner's like one of those, if you've watched any movie from the 70s or 80s, you've probably seen him in something.
Well, we saw his head go flying off in The Omen. I know that.
Yeah, there you go. But I love the sort of the difference between the mother's and the father's reaction to this boy is sniffing around our daughter. The father's like, well, one thing leads to another. He is, who knows what could happen. And mother's like, get the fuck out of here. That kid's weird looking.
Yeah. Oh, we do get a quick mention of Alice, but it's so brief, and it's back. She's Rosaline is back home with her parents, and mom is serving them all their nightly gruel. And the mom just makes a comment, there's too much food now that there's 3 of us.
I know, which is like the only thing of like sort of in mourning for their child.
And after she says that, father says, don't grieve.
Yeah.
He literally says those 2 words in that order, and shocking.
How very British.
With her staying at her mom and dad's, or back home with mom and dad, she wakes to and looks across the room, and they're all sleeping in the same room. And we see that they have just finished doing their business with one another.
The daddy's hurting mommy.
Yeah, that next day.
But in the good place.
Mommy, does daddy hurt you?
No. What do you mean? It sounds like he's hurting you. She's like, nah, it's different.
Uh-huh. He sounds like the beast that Granny talks about.
Mm-hmm. Your granny is full of shit.
I love that.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
That is unclear in this movie. Is Granny mother's mother or father's mother?
I had the same question.
Maternal grandmother, paternal grandmother?
I think she is the paternal grandmother, and I only say that because, well, I think primarily because of the scene where we realize that mom doesn't love Granny.
Yeah.
And that's a classic mother-in-law, daughter-in-law relationship, or just in-law relationship.
Listen, your grandmother talks a lot of shit, so.
Take it with a grain of salt, child.
Yeah.
But it's like, listen, if you love her, girl, then have
that is
at.
true.
I'm glad you like her.
And also free childcare.
Okay, so we've got a red shawl. We've also got, here I wrote down a couple more. They say the bishop's bastards grow up to be wolves. He's not called father for nothing. Also, if a child is born on Christmas Day, feet first, and his eyebrows meet, he's the one. He should be feared in the forest.
He's going to meet the devil.
Okay, so then we get this interesting little story from
it's like a scene.
Granny. Yeah.
Just a little, it's barely even a story. Like the plot is what? It's almost more like a notion, kind of like the opening dream sequence. It's like there isn't even a leads to B leads to C. It's a vignette almost.
What I love about this story is that we see this young man in the woods, but we see approaching headlights. So it's
I know
the anachronism of this kind of 1930s looking Rolls Royce pulling up. It's chrome and ivory and gold trim, and it's driven by the chauffeur is Rosaline in a blonde wig.
In a blonde wig with like a white, this girl is straight out of Studio 54.
Oh yeah.
Like the white, here's my little cap. Listen, this is not a horror film, but there's a musical from I'm pretty sure it's the 1970s called The Apple, which is kind of an underrepresented camp musical that a lot of people don't know about. But listen, if you want to see a 1970s disco fever dream, highly I recommend The Apple.
Okay, you've given us The Apple and The Storyteller TV series, but neither of which I've ever seen. So
they're both great.
I don't know how I missed The Storyteller, because that would have been prime.
Was it on HBO? I think it was you had to catch it on HBO during one specific time. And they only made one season of it. And then they did a second season that was Greek myths, which is fine, but the original is where it's at.
I just want to note that the poster for the musical The Apple, which came out in 1980, says The Power of Rock in 1994.
Yes.
Whoa, it takes place in the future.
Yeah, it does. And it's just not for this podcast, but go have fun. Rent The Apple and tell me what you think.
I am so excited. Okay, but that's not here.
But it's very this anachronistic, cocaine-fueled Studio 54 1984 kind of way.
I have expected ZZ Top to pile out of this fucking limo.
But we're British, so instead we have Terence Stamp.
Which is great. I love this appearance by Terence Stamp.
God, his eyes are so fucking mesmerizing.
There are those guys who just...
They're White Walkers.
Yeah, well, they have
they're daywalkers.
They have resting villain face.
Yeah.
And he just, he can play anything, but in neutral form, Terence Stamp looks
you're evil. You're Zod. You killed Kal-El.
And in this one, he looks like evil billionaire, right? Evil Monopoly man billionaire.
Do you want to hear it? And then I got another little tidbit for you. So originally, the devil was supposed to be played by Andy Warhol.
Oh.
But Andy Warhol had just been shot.
Of course.
by the feminist writer
Lily Taylor.
Yeah, Lily Taylor. And so he was terrified to leave the country. So he could only be in the film if they could like come to New York and shoot it, which they were like, yeah, we can't do that. So they kind of scrambled around and found Terrence Stamp. And Terrence Stamp said, okay, I'll do this cameo for you only if you, I think he said like, buy him a suit. Like he got to keep the suit that he wore in the film. And they're like, yeah, sure. So he's like, all right.
I love that.
Cool.
I love that. That's so good. It's a nice suit. But this man pulls up and it is the devil, played by Terrence Stamp, inside this car.
Clearly.
And he hands the boy a potion and says, use it wisely, waste not, want not, and drives away. And then the boy rubs it on his chest and he grows chest hair.
The first thing I thought was like, wait, use it wisely. To do what? What's the dosage?
It's just Rogaine.
Hey, topical, oral, anal, cuticle.
Put it in my tea. What?
My scalp. Sprinkle it on my food.
I
Put it on the
don't know.
ground.
I don't know.
Throw it at an enemy. What are the instructions?
This is another hymns.com delivery.
Oh my God. Wolf hymns.
Wolf hymns.
You're like, is it going to grow more hair?
Well, what this potion does is you apply it topically to your chest.
Yeah.
You grow painful chest hair because he starts screaming the moment he sees the chest hair. But that just means he's not invited to the Twink bar, I guess. I don't know. Like,
and also this actor, he doesn't say like anything.
Yeah.
But this actor, I can see why they cast him because he does Popeye. He has Popeye face. No, and he like unhinges his jaw so hard, kind of like Bruce Campbell in Evil Dead. Like but this is like next level. However, as weird as I fucking love this little vignette because it makes zero sense. It has no plot to it. But if you think about it, it's like, okay, Jeffrey, for the 6 years we've been making this podcast, you have constantly been asking, how do werewolf work? We don't have an answer to that. But I think this is like, where do werewolf come from?
From wolfhymns.com.
From wolfhymns.com, which is run by the devil. But it's this idea of like, who was this kid is the first werewolf. Like being a werewolf, like we always get the like, it was a curse with the, the universal story is like, oh, it's a Romany curse that's been passed down. This is, no. The devil has like a whole arsenal of evil shit potions.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you know what? Let's deploy this one. And this guy, because he was born backwards, feet first on Christmas Day, et cetera,
right.
He communes with the devil and he becomes the first werewolf.
This is our Adam and Eve sort of story in the werewolf Bible. Okay, I get it. That makes total sense. Okay, so what else do we get? We get back to Granny. Also, if you should spot a naked man, run as fast as you can.
Oh, toward them?
Yeah, I'm just
over and over and over. Run back and forth.
Yeah,
back and forth.
Run as fast, and then back away, and then back toward them. And I mean, I get that because we kind of talk later about that all things like man-made that the wolves do not like. They don't like having to appear as men. They don't like having to wear men's clothing. They want to be naked and run free and be of the wood.
I mean, that's the sort of the even Granny has her, her sort of, she's completely tied to Christianity. Mm-hmm. Like as I don't know, it's not pagan, but like there's still a mistrust of the old ways.
Right.
So if you're naked in the woods, evil.
We, in our budget, when we went to alloftheanimals.com and ordered one of each, we got a crate full of these big chunky spiders and we didn't know what to do with them. So we just did a meaningless church scene where it's boring, and the priest is doing the wolf shall also dwell with the lamb from Isaiah, and
which is great.
And the spiders fall from the dusty old chandelier onto Rosaline's Bible, and she is unaffected.
Nonplussed.
And the next thing we know, she's outside, and she and the ginger boy are going on a walk.
Yeah. Well, she agreed to go on a walk, and he's like, okay, all right, great. Let's go for a walk.
I love the Granny is there to be like, don't stray from the path. And the boy's dad is there, is like, go get him, tiger.
I know, yeah. No, like the entire village is lined up to watch them go on their inaugural walk. And Granny's the only one who's like, is as brash enough to be like, yeah, just don't let him roll you down in the hay.
It's so funny, like the dynamics here of what the kind of like sexual desires that they put on, or like sexual attraction, when I say desires, like what she's drawn to on Rosaline. Because here we have a boy he's going through the motions of what boys are supposed to do. So he's like, I think we should do, and she's like, I don't.
Hand stuff?
Yeah, no? She's like, I really don't. He's like, like kiss. And
why would I want to kiss you? You smell like onions.
She keeps like, get away. Okay, here. And then she finally, I think she leans in to kiss him. Like he starts and she's like, gross.
Yeah.
Once they get upright, she leans in to kiss him, and he's like, see, wasn't that nice? And she says, no.
And then he says, yeah, that sucked. We should do that again.
Which I like as like a flirty thing.
But he's just negging her, honestly.
He is negging her.
You suck at kissing, but, I'll teach you how.
Which is funny because he actually gets a laugh out of her.
Yeah.
And causes her to run. She's like, only if you can catch me. Oh, I know what it is. The kiss happens when she says, he asks her, don't you like me? And she says, well, I like you well enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this seems to kind of affect him. Like,
like a brother.
Yeah,
like a friend.
like a bud. Like he's feeling like, oh shit, I'm getting friend zoned.
Yeah.
And she says, you're afraid to kiss me, aren't you? And then she kisses him. And, So then we have this chase. We go off the path. And she's through the woods, and she crosses the rainbow.
Yeah. The symbolism gets real intense here for the next 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. She's going to climb this tall phallic thing.
Unbelievable.
Pop her head up out of the bushes. She finds a stork's nest.
A stork's nest, Cecil.
With a mirror. Mm-hmm. And a little bit of lipstick in a pot, and little baby eggs that crack open into human babies.
What? Okay, now what is your read on what is the symbolism for all of that?
I mean, clearly, I think it's the fall of communist Eastern Europe.
Yeah, it's definitely about the Cold War. I can tell that.
It's definitely about the Cold War.
Yeah,
I mean, this is 1984, so what else could it possibly be about?
This egg cracking scene with the little baby inside, all I could think about was
the cries.
Yes, the cries.
Tears.
My brain went to the "Don't hug me, I'm scared" of pesky bee like that. I wanted her to squash it, and like a little bloody pulpy butterfly comes out of it.
Well, and I love that. So clearly, Dream Rosaline is discovering sex. She's had one kiss. Now she's writing the light fantastic here. And I think it's here like that little clay baby cry, like has like a single tear. And I think it's now we cut to present day Rosaline, and she's just like tears streaming down her face and are dripping down onto her floor.
Yes.
In the most commercially lit, glossy, is it live? Is it Memorex?
Yeah.
Style commercial.
Neil Jordan had said he was very disappointed in this movie because of the ending shot. Because what they wanted, what was in the script, but they just did not have the time nor the money to be able to do this. And he had said in later years, CGI would have made this so easy and we could have done it. But in practical world, we couldn't make it happen. But they just wanted because of all the tears, they wanted the floor to be a pool, and she would just get off of her bed and dive in and then just disappear into the water. And I think that makes so much more sense than what happens at the end, which wolves come crashing in through her window and she screams, and then the movie's over, and you're like, wait, is she... Huh? That kind of takes away all of the sense that she made good choices because they're her choices. Anyway, interesting. But did she... I really do mean this question. Like, what does that little baby that she presents her mother... Because she brings the mother back... We'll answer this question, then we'll get to how we got there. But she brings the little baby back, shows it to Mom, and Mom smiles at the baby thing, and the baby has a little tear coming out of its clay face. But
I know why.
Okay.
It's because Mom doesn't have to explain where babies come from now. So she's like, whew, thank God.
Oh.
She figured it out on her own. Kissing leads to tall phallus writing with the aid of lipstick and the adult
rainbow party.
You look yourself in the mirror, you go to Rainbow Cocaine Night at Studio 54, and you come away with a little tiny baby.
Yeah.
And Mom's like, oh, thank God. Oof,
so she's just gained the knowledge of this. She's not saying,
I think that's it.
Totally
I don't think she's pregnant.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, great.
I think it's like she has an understanding. She has an awakening to, as Father said, one thing leads to another. Kissing and chasing in the forest lead to tiny babies.
I love how we get to this point, though, because, we have this kind of this crazy heavy symbolism, climb a tree, stork's nest, etc. But that's that's her journey.
Yeah.
But the boy, he gets lost in the woods. He sees a bloodied, eviscerated cow.
Yeah.
And is like, oh, shit, you guys, a wolf is loose in our village.
Again, cries wolf. We were talking about the use of the set. I think having the same village set that a lot of these stories revolve around, again, it kind of ties the sort of monomyth of fairy tales together. So like Little Red Riding Hood, and the boy who cried wolf.
Right.
Probably live in these are different stories. They both involve wolves. Therefore, let's put them in the same village.
Which is so funny to me because I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, but this was the idea of James Lapine and Stephen Sondheim for Into the Woods, because they originally, after doing Sunday in the Park with George, they thought a fairy tale would be really fun. And they kept trying to write original fairy tales.
Oh, interesting.
And they found it so hard to do. And it eventually was like, Lapine was like, because they wanted to have a bunch of stories happening. And the director, James Lapine, was eventually like, why don't we just take existing fairy tales, have them all set in the same woods? Because they all seem to be set in the same woods. And then so they built that same sort of concept, and it makes perfect sense. And this movie and that musical are just a year or two apart in development.
Yeah.
So he brings back like fear and chaos in the things that he saw. He brings back violence. And in fact,
we get a brawl.
Because Dad is like, where's my fucking daughter? Boy's dad is like, get your hands off my son.
Pow.
It's eventually...
Mom just throws a bucket of water on all of them.
And then Rosaline shows up calm as calm could be and be like, look, Mommy, I found a little baby in the woods. I know what sex is.
Yeah. Like, I now have lipstick and a mirror. Which the mirror is going to come back later as well.
It's very true. I couldn't help but did you ever you read John Berger's Ways of Seeing, right?
No, I don't think so. No. I know you've mentioned it on the show before.
Yeah, it's such a fascinating book. I mean, it's semiotics, right? It's perceptions of how we take in story, how we perceive story. But he has a passage in there about the mirror and about women and mirrors. And he talks about it's essentially about, without using this phrase, the male gaze, right? Like we build statues and paintings of women and their beauty, and they're meant to be looked at. And we think about how beautiful and how pure women are, how all of the great qualities that women have from our vantage point as viewers. But you hand the woman a mirror and have her gaze into it. You have her see herself, and we call her vain. We call her a whore. So the mirror, I think Angela Carter's use of this, I'm assuming this is from her story. I did not read the story, but the addition of the mirror here is so vital. I think it feels very referential to ways of seeing.
I can see that.
The men are now on a hunt
Wolf
for
hunt.
this wolf. We're going to use a duck as bait.
That duck is awful cute.
It's very cute.
Again, animal bingo, duck.
Yeah. What do we do with this duck? We got a duck. And it's a little bit like getting your Blue Apron box at home. It's like really nice that they give you instructions for everything. But sometimes,
Duck tonight.
yeah.
I have a cute little story. So, like I said, this movie only used real wolves in 2 different instances, and one of them is we're gonna take this duck, we're gonna like sort of tie it to the forest floor. We're gonna build a big pit next to it. The wolf is gonna go for the duck and get caught in the pit. So they bring a wolf in, an actual wolf. The duck started quacking, and the wolf got scared and ran away. And they couldn't get the wolf anywhere near the pit, so they had to like shut down shooting for a day and then find another wolf. But I just love this idea that like this wolf, like the thing that all this mythology of the most fearful, like think of every European village story, hundreds of years in the making. And this duck, this white farm duck, is like, whack. And that wolf runs the fuck away.
That's so good.
Which I love. This is like the reality behind the myth of that. Sometimes animals just, they're not symbols. They're things that are autonomous.
Yes.
And that wolf did not want anything to do with that duck.
Going back to what I was saying at the start of the episode about sexuality and like young girls' sexuality in film in the 70s and in the 80s.
She's on the cusp.
Well,
she's barely fuckable. She's almost fuckable.
Yeah, and also so much of it is like not just exploring that as a concept, which I think is a valid concept that like to explore in a really careful way. Mm-hmm. But I do think that the men who make things oftentimes are just interested in exploring it in a horny way of like how much can we get away with. And I found this a little bit with the fact that the next scene where we're going to get Rosaline telling her mom a story, it's while Rosaline is in the bath and mom is bathing her. Listen, I'm not here to say that maybe back then they didn't bathe each other, that people didn't but I'm like, this girl is 12 years old. She can take a bath. You could just have them sitting down for tea and having this conversation. Like,
why did the bath need to be the scene? Yeah.
Because this actress is 14 years old.
Yeah.
Like literally the girl playing the girl is 14. And so there's part of me that's like, you didn't need this scene, but you did.
And to add to that, they had originally wanted the girl to be like the actress to be like 16. But the director was so taken with Sarah Peterson and her acting, but he's like, well, we're not like, we've literally not seen anyone else as strong an actor. And she's younger. So they had to like cut a lot of stuff.
Whoa.
So this movie was probably even more horny for a 16-year-old. That they had to trim stuff off because they had a legit 14-year-old playing even younger. So they're like, okay, we can't, there's a lot of shit that we can't even say this. So they were pulling their punches, and this is what we got. MILF bathes daughter in milk.
Oh my God. So story number 2, Rosaline tells her mother a story. I love that mom's like, oh, you're going to tell me a story? Okay. Right. Once upon a time, there was a woman in the valley and a man did her wrong. And she came to the castle to make it right, or came to his mansion to make it right, whatever she says.
Pink Fantasia.
I do like that their whole dinner, this whole French aristocracy, like Restoration era looking powdered wigs and shit. They're having this dinner inside just a gala tent rental on the front lawn of the real world mansion that they live in. I found really, really funny. It felt like a meta shot of the camera catching the mansion with this tent built, because it feels like the tent is the thing where, like, that's where food services is, right?
Yeah.
That's where.
Yeah.
So, craft services. So, fancy powdered wig people.
Oh, yeah. They're the worst.
Uh,
Oh, the kisser. I dare say. The kisser.
So they're all the young groom and the young bride. They cut the cake with a decorative sword.
I know. You know, I got to say, I love this, again, in a movie that is primarily based on symbols and not mythology, tradition.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, why do the bride and the groom cut the cake together? Why is that a traditional part of the wedding in sort of Christian culture, whatever? And then you watch two people do it with a saber, and you're like, oh, it's sex. Oh, you're penetrating that cake. Okay, I understand now.
I love how disgusting this scene is before anything goes haywire, because we get shots of this old woman,
that fucking turkey leg,
stuffing her face with those chicken wings. And also there's another woman with a dog, not only at the table, but on her lap, paws on the table.
Oh, of course.
There's that one dude who's just fucking hammered. Like, he can't even speak normal.
Yep.
And then here comes this pregnant villager woman with her TK powers to shatter mirrors with her mind.
Oh my God. She walks in and she's like, oh, I was good enough for you once, but apparently not to keep. And she's just like walking the length of the table, picks off a plum, eats it, spits it at somebody. They're like, ugh, oh, how uncouth. She's so dirty.
In the cold November rain.
But really, it really is. It really is an 80s music video.
Yeah, she says the wolves in the forest are more decent. Ooh, burn. You got served. And this mirror shatters. Lots of mirror imagery here, but the mirror shatters in the room, and they all start turning into wolves. Dogs.
Yeah.
This is so
really
good.
And this is like, again, so we have three wolf transformations. We have the first one, which is like this very muscle, blood and bone. Like, I don't even think he even gets to fur. This one, because it's sort of en masse, you don't have the individual. It's like people all of a sudden have like canine teeth. And then what I love is, like, it's their fancy shoes and like the dog paws just like burst through.
Yes.
And then kind of the next time we see them, they're dogs in clothing, which honestly, love.
And those dogs just start trashing the place, like eating the food, knocking the flowers over, running out of there.
Kicking the table over. I love the fact that the servants, so like the witch is like, she's like just laughing her ass off maniacally because she's, vindicated as a witch. And then there's a moment where she makes eye contact with the powdered wig servants, and they look at her and they just sort of like give her a fancy bow. She gives them a fancy bow back. And the next thing, the servants are like cracking open the champagne. So I'm like, yeah, class solidarity.
yeah, absolutely.
You're the masters now. Form a collective.
And then cut back to mom and daughter. Mom's like, where'd you hear a story like that? It's not a story. It's true. Granny told me.
Oh, Granny.
And I do like, because we're playing at second wave feminism here, right? Like, we're playing at this era of feminist, theory around equalizing men and women, like on the strict binary. That we're sort of battling for just placing women in the same realm of equality as men, that there is a strength in women that can match what men have. And but the idea is that women just don't have the power or the agency to achieve that power. So Rosaline's response to her mother saying, like, when her mom's like, how is that even a happy ending? And she says, well, the pleasure comes from knowing the power we had all along.
Oh, because every time the wolves howl, the young woman, now with her baby up in a tree, sure, also in the most gorgeous backlit, kind of on a moonlit night, backlighting her teased out Studio 54 hair. So like every time the wolves howl, it reminds her, I did that.
Yeah. It's another wolf creation myth, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's so
Why do the wolves howl at night?
Because one, we had the Christian devil in Granny's story created the wolves. And in Rosaline's story, it is Earth. Going back to Frewaka, we have the Christian, the monolith of Christianity, and then we have the...
how did the wolf get its howl?
Yeah, and then we have the Earth woman. We have the Earth goddess here in counterpoint. One is a very male story, and one is a very feminine story.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're really bringing it with the religious analysis, Cecil. Thank you for that. I didn't make that connection till just now.
This episode is brought to you by Facebook. So you were scrolling on Marketplace, and there it was, the bike you'd been searching for. You sent a message, and it turned out the seller was super chatty, kind of funny, and an avid cyclist. The next thing you know, you're in a cycling crew. Well, a community cycling group. The thing about Facebook, you might find more than what you're looking for. From a browse to a bike ride, this summer find more on Facebook.
The Colonel's cooked up a new $10 bucket of the day just for you. Monday, 24 nuggets for $10. Tuesday, 8-piece fried chicken for $10. Wednesday, 10 wings for $10. Thursday, 8 tenders for $10. Friday, 24 nuggets for... Ooh, you guessed it, didn't you? $10. The $10 bucket of the day deal. Every weekday, only at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax extra.
Okay, but then we cut from this story right to the villagers catching that wolf and not just shooting it dead, but like mowing it, like St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
Murdering this wolf.
Like 20 people shooting at a...
Yeah.
And this is an actual wolf.
Yeah.
We think.
Well, Dad brings back to Mom and Rosaline, he kept the forepaw. You know, like, oh, as a souvenir, we cut off the front paw of this wolf. Here it is wrapped, but if you'll notice, he unwraps it. It's just a man's hand.
Uh-oh.
And I swear, when I killed it, it was a wolf. And Mom said, you get that thing the fuck out of here.
This is where Rosaline's character shifts, I would say.
Uh-huh.
Like, we're kind of ramping up to the last story and the sort of the climax of this film. Because she looks at that hand, she's like... What should we do with it, Daddy? Should we burn it? Should we bury it? And Dad just like throws it right on the fire. And you're one, I don't think that fire is going to burn. Like one, that is going to smell so bad. Don't be doing that in your house.
Yeah.
You need to build a fire outside. And two, you're going to have to get your fire really hot to, like, flesh doesn't melt like wax.
No. It cooks.
Yeah.
It very much cooks.
But one of the things that, like, I didn't quite I thought was going to be a thing, but it wasn't, is that, like, Rosalind's, like, staring at this hand. And more importantly, she's staring at the ring on the hand.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was going to be like, oh, she pulls the ring out of the fire or something. You know, like, I thought, but it doesn't go there.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go to grandmother's house. Now we're in full Red Riding Hood mode. The ginger boy kind of watches her leave town and it kind of stops her and is like, let me go with you. I will protect you. And she's like, no, I'm good. I got this knife.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
And then she runs into a man in the woods, the huntsman, who's...
The werewolf Lestat?
Yeah. The werewolf Lestat, whose eyebrows touch. Hello, little girl, he says. What's your rush? You're missing all the flowers.
Uh-huh.
The sun won't set for hours. Take your time, he says.
Let's make out.
I think it was the boys on Just King Things proposed many years ago because they probably watched, I think it's watching too many movies from the 70s and 80s and even 90s of just, now that we have really good CGI, we just shouldn't have kids in movies at all. But this kind of, there's something, I get the story, I think, mostly handles this coming of age sexuality of a young girl well, but it's just disturbing to be like, we have to have an adult man out here kissing a 14-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that just seems like a thing you shouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's here, and we'll take it on. And yeah, he's definitely trying to lure her into some shenanigans. Let's have a little picnic off the path. I even love that he says, I have the most amazing device here in my trousers.
What?
It means I'm never lost. She's like, I want to see it. And
It always points north, which sounds uncomfortable to me.
It's like, oh, okay. You guys, do you mind if I sit in that chair?
I just gotta I can't. I know I'm facing away from you, but right now the jeans are really tight, and it always faces north.
He has this compass, and he tells her how the compass works, and very hardcore flirting with her. But there is this exchange where he says, "Are you sorry that you found me?" And she basically says no, because the village boys are pretty fucking basic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
I mean, you're at least something interesting.
Yeah. You know, this is something very different to her. And I think to go back to you pointing out, like, kind of the earth motherness of her story that she told her mother, that I think this is the way in which she's connecting to the wolves of like, oh, you are creations of women. It's not that aggressive or assertive or virile men or hairy men, masculine men are the enemy. It's the predatory men, you know, and it's that if we can keep up with the predatory men and learn to be predators ourselves and live in balance with that, I think that's what this movie is getting at.
So two things. To that comment, the mother, even when they're having the sex talk, that's not a sex talk. Like Rosaline Ash, she's like, Granny says that there's, like a wolf inside every man or something of that effect. And mother's response is, that may or may not be true, but what is inside a woman will meet that every single time. So
yes. Yeah.
So like, just because men have one thing on their mind, women also have that, like they're not destroying us when we fuck. Like, we will meet them with the exact same animalistic desires. But then also what I love about this casting, so apparently this actor, Michael Burgess, was hired as a choreographer to kind of, when Stephen Rea, the first werewolf dude, as to kind of like discover the physicality of what a werewolf is. But apparently Stephen Rea knocked it out of the park, and Neil Jordan liked this choreographer so much, he ended up casting him as the huntsman. And I think this is a really happy accident. I don't think this was intentional, but the fact that the huntsman has a continental European accent only like enhances his otherness, his outsiderness. Because this is we've seen travelers, we've seen aristocracy, we've seen villagers, we've seen sort of hedge witches. But this is the first person that has an accent that is not from around here.
Yeah. It's a great point. You bring in foreigner. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's really good. He challenges her to basically
kiss off.
Yeah, kiss off. Well, he knows she's going to her grandmother's house, and he's like, well, with this compass, I could easily beat you there.
I don't need to stay on your stupid path.
Yeah.
Your pre-prescribed safety rules and regs.
Uh-huh.
I can go wherever the fuck I want.
Which I really love that notion that it's the wolf represents something free to roam outside of man-made society. Yeah. So he's like, I'll bet you anything that I'll get to your granny's house before you. And so the bet is, well, if she gets there first, that she gets his compass. But if he gets there first, she has to give him a kiss.
Yep.
Yep, till we meet again. Well, the huntsman definitely makes it there first.
Yep.
I love this line. When he confronts Granny, she says, go back to hell. And he says, I don't come from hell. I come from the forest. That's the key. There it is.
Yep.
Said it out loud. And his tongue gets real long.
Ooh, yeah.
Is there a sexual read on any of these
Maybe.
werewolves? Should we get into the sexual metaphors of this movie?
I mean, only if, we talk about the head inside the head of the alien mother. Does he transfer? He transform into? No, he doesn't transform into a wolf for Granny.
No.
He just knocks her head off.
Yeah, well, I want to say appreciate the idea that they give the Granny. There's a fight here, right?
Yeah.
I've been noticing this a little bit in more contemporary horror stuff these days, that you're kind of like final girl, as it were. Doesn't have to be a woman, but a character that you really love is going to die. You want to give them a fighting chance, or give them a last word, or give them some weight. And she puts up a fight. Own. Yeah.
Like she like burns him with a poker from the fire.
Yeah.
She gets a few blows in.
She does.
She is not like, I was everything but like using her knitting needles to like stab him in the eyes.
And you said earlier that there are 2 beheadings in this movie. We talked about the other one, the head lands him, and both of them you said have, they end in a way you don't expect. So you want to talk about this Granny beheading? Yeah.
So like Granny's kind of giving it to the wolf. Like she seems to have the upper hand because, the wolf seems very surprised that Granny is even, able to use a weapon. So he just like clocks her. The head comes clean off. Again, no blood. This is like it's a beheading, but it's a symbol. It's an allegory. So we don't need to get all gross and viscera. But when her head hits the wall, it shatters into clay, like a porcelain doll head, like the porcelain Granny doll that we see at the very beginning. So even in this dream within a story within a dream, Granny seems very real, but is not. I have a question. Have we missed the Wolf Girl story? Where did the Wolf Girl story?
That's coming up. That's at the very end here.
Okay, gotcha. Because I was like, I know there's one more, but I feel like there's, like we're in the like Little Red Riding Hood finale here.
Little Red Riding Hood arrives. Rosaline arrives at the house, and she sees the blood in the snow, so she already kind of knows what's up. And when she knocks on the door, we hear him approximating a Granny voice, like, "Come on in, my child," and
open the latch and step on in.
That's it. It's the exact phrase she always uses. But they subvert that. They don't play the exact story here. She comes in, she's like, "Oh, yeah, that I kind of figured. So where's my grandmother?" He's like, just wherever.
She went out to get her woods. She went out to get some more logs for the fire. And she's like, a gentleman would never let an old woman get logs. He's like, yeah, she'll be back in like 2 minutes. But like Rosaline is kind of backing her up, and she steps on Granny's glasses, and she's like, oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. I see her like, oh, you're like burning her hair in the fire.
Yeah.
You wolves hate hair.
You don't like hair. And he's like, but look at me. And he pulls off his shirt. Not nary a chest hair, aren't like nothing on this pale ass man. He does have some pretty good biceps.
He does.
Because Rosaline's like, oh my, what big arms you have. The better to hold you, my dear.
Yeah. We go through the big eyes, big arms, and then we'll get to big teeth. He does say, I love him, like, why don't you take off your shawl? Just burn it. You won't need that thing anymore.
She does.
She totally does. And we hear the howling outside. She says, who is that? And he says,
my friends.
I love the company of wolves.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding. We have a title.
I love that she steps to the window and she's kind of doing those poor wolves outside. They're so they must be so cold in winter. He's like, oh, they're probably fine. They're wolves. And she turns around and draws his rifle on him.
Yeah.
She's a good subterfuge. She did a good job selling that. So he draws in and says, well, gentlemen always keep to their promises and ladies should keep to their promises too. And I did win the bet. So I am owed a kiss. Isn't that correct? They do kiss. And she does say this, Jesus, what big teeth you have.
Yeah.
All the better to eat you. Pow! And she shoots him right in the fucking shoulder. Yeah, his tongue.
Like a weird tongue, which I know is an element of, like, dogs have really long tongues, clearly. But it just looks really weird on a humanoid head. Uh-huh. With, like a 2-foot-long tongue. And,
and then wolf comes out of his mouth. Like, wolf snout emerges from human mouth.
I love it. Like, the transformation is not my body turns into a wolf body. It is, nope, there's a wolf inside. There's 2 wolves inside of you. One of them is Virginia Woolf. The other one's Beowulf. You're an English major. That's the tweet goes, I think. But no, I love this idea that it's like, it's not a transformation as it is a revelation. The wolf splits open his body and there's like, boop, nope, just fully formed wolf. Which honestly, I think is less scary, but more physically realistic. I don't know, like the transformation of this one thing into another, there's going to be some awkwardness in the middle versus like, here's a man, split it open like a persimmon, and there's a wolf inside that comes out.
Well, and going back to the whole like the Christian mythos and the nature of Earth itself,
yeah, the earth pagan myth,
that one is a masculine centered story and the other is more feminine, but also like in balance. Like it's not even like, it always feels like a feminine story because it feels that once you have an equality of male, female, yin and yang, of balance.
Yeah, you're like Mother Earth, Father Sky.
Then it feels very womanly. It's funny. I was talking to somebody as I'm a New York Liberty WNBA fan, and and women's basketball has long been kind of associated with like lesbians or gay people or whatever. And you go to a Liberty game, and there's a lot of there's Pride Night every June. There's a lot of stuff that is queer about the experience. Like instead of the little inflatable things that you wave behind the basket at the opposing people, the first night they gave us fans and people were like clapping their fans.
Oh my God, not the clack fans.
Yeah, and it's very funny. But also you look around and you realize the gay population in this building reflects what the gay or queer population of our country is. And what happens is that when you're so used to seeing everything through a cis, straight, masculine, heteronormative viewpoint on television and film where everything is straight, everything is cis or male, it just looks gay when the population is 15% queer.
When you're like, there's a little bit more of the others that always exist and have existed, but they're like, oh, we're just in one place at one time.
And in the way that, like, in the 1980s, you're making TV shows, the idea of having more than one black person on a show suddenly made it a black show.
Yeah.
Anyways, just stating that sort of thing. But I think in the balance of the Earth story, of the witch story, of the masculine and feminine, that I think it's a really interesting change here to say that instead of the man being a wolf, like the man is the wolf, the man is a predator deep down, that he has to suppress the feelings of violence. It's a very within
Christian,
him.
like pray that sin away.
Yes, exactly.
We all have sin, original sin. Only Jesus can help you tamp it on down.
Yeah. And that it's the idea that violence exists within all men. that sin exists within all men. And what she is arguing, Rosaline is arguing, Angela Carter probably is arguing, is that like, no, actually the earth is within all of us. We are natural, every one of us. And she's choosing to connect with the nature of
because as soon as he transforms, she's giving him pets. Like that wolf, the werewolf of the story, the kind of our finale here, chill, calm.
Yeah.
He's injured. So he can't, theoretically he can't like, he's a little bit weakened, but she's comforting him.
Well, and she's mothering him in some way or nurturing him and soothing him. And she says, I'll tell you a story of a wounded wolf. Once a she-wolf came from the world below to the world above.
Which I'm like, okay, love this. Again, not vague, but like, it's not hell.
No.
It's not a cat. Like, it is just the subconscious into the conscious.
Yeah.
And also, all of our wolves thus far in this film have all been men.
Yeah.
So our final story is like, no. She-wolves are just as much a part. Listen, ask Romulus and Remus. She-wolves are just as part of the mythological, symbolic makeup of this animal story.
Yeah.
As the men who turn into wolves and ravage women,
Yeah. And she says she meant, though, the she-wolf meant no harm, but someone meant harm to her, and it is a villager that fires a rifle and wounds her. And she runs away and finds herself in the churchyard. And here we have the priest taking her hands and says, are you God's work or the devil's? And then he pauses and says, actually, who cares? You're a poor creature.
Yeah, you're a creature in need of help.
Yeah.
And isn't that what I should be doing as a religious figure? Should be helping those in need, regardless of their intentions or where they're from. That's rather progressive.
It's very progressive to think that the church should heal people.
Yeah.
And the white rose turns red.
Oh.
We're just going to see a shot of a white rose slowly turning red.
Yep.
And as Rosaline tells the story, she was just a girl and it healed. She was so young.
Yeah.
Like, she was young enough that the priest was right. The wound would heal on its own with care. And so then we see not a wolf, but Grisabella.
Wolf girl, yeah.
Yeah. Grisabella,
wolf
the
out.
she-wolf, dancing down the bridge back into the village Cecil, she's going full Cats on Broadway. This hair, this dance she's doing of... She perches on things. She goes, da, 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 da. See, you thought you were going to get Sondheim, but you ended up getting Andrew Lloyd Webber. Surprise, bitch! It's Cat's night. This wolf is a cat, and that cat is a girl, and this girl is a hedgehog. This she-wolf went to AMDA, is all I know.
Yeah, she did.
So yeah, and cuts back to Rosaline, and the wolf is there, like licking her hand, just being a sweet little wolf.
But everybody's showing because she. Although, like, how they knew she was in trouble, that's where I'm like, oh no, a plot point. Because she just went to Granny's, and the entire fucking village is gathered to, like, save her. And I'm like, how did they know she needed saving?
You know what I'm going to guess that it was? It's two things. Two sounds. One, it's all of the wolves gathering and howling outside of the cottage, and there was a gunshot.
Yeah. So there's trouble in the woods.
They all run to grandmother's house, and as they arrive...
a husky-shaped wolf jumps out a window, so that's the werewolf Lestat.
Yep. The werewolf Lestat gets free, jumps out the window. They don't manage to kill that wolf, and they get inside, and there's another wolf wearing a little Christian necklace.
It's wearing her little cross, her little silver cross. Listen, I gotta say, dogs and clothing. Come on, what's not to love?
No, it's not. So Dad draws rifle and is about to shoot, and Mom sees that necklace, is like, no.
And she's like, that's our daughter.
bats that rifle to the ceiling, and Rosaline the wolf flies out the window and runs off into...
And then it's just two wolves frolicking in the wood. Or they're two wolves running for their lives.
Yeah.
But she chose wolf.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck this village. This place is boring as fuck. Granny was the only cool person, and she's dead. So I might as well go with this. I don't know. And I like when she's kind of interrogating the werewolf Lestat. She's like, so do you like being a wolf? Do you like being a person? Where do you? And he's like, I live in between. That in between space is what she craves, I think. Like she's like, oh, well, that doesn't sound too bad. Because I had always been taught that you hated being a man. But in fact, you're both. You just have to you have to butch it up when you're with people, and you have to cis it up when you're with your wolf friends.
That's it. He says verbatim, bi visibility and gender is fluid.
That's it. Pretty much.
So,
my wolf gender is fluid.
Wolf gender is fluid. So they, this wolf, the wolf runs all the way home, all the way back up the 8 flights of steps to real world Rosaline's room. But then instead of coming through the door, it crashes through the window in her room. And then all the dolls, ceramic dolls, come crashing down in the glass.
Glass shattering.
Slow-mo. The dolls shattering. And here's what I wrote in my notes. I wonder if childhood is over.
Yes.
But Neil Jordan really disliked what they had to do for the ending here. And I disliked it too, because it's her screaming.
Yeah.
And I think it negates the agency she had to this point.
Yeah. Because she chose to be a wolf.
Yeah.
That's clearly the kind of the second wave feminist, we were talking about Marion Zimmer Bradley and the Mists of Avalon, and taking these very popular large myths and being but what if feminism?
Yeah.
And this one has a great ending for that of she's heard all the stories about how bad werewolves and wolves and men are. And she's like, you know what? I don't know. It sounds kind of fun. Let's give it a try. But then to add this kind of button at the end is and then she regretted her horrible nightmarish decision.
It just erases everything the movie was building for us. But you know what? If you just hit mute during this final scene, don't hit mute. Just turn on your favorite 80s hair metal band.
Oh my God.
You know what? Play some Joan Jett right here.
But let put on some Tangerine Dream.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Maybe some 80s David Bowie.
Yeah, as long as you just don't hear her screaming, I think this ending is fine as a button. Well, Cecil, the end. Shall we rate this movie?
Yes, let's.
All right, so on a scale of approachability for the horror-averse, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all approachable and 10 being very approachable even if you're squeamish, I'd give The Company of Wolves 8 out of 10 deflowered rose trees. That it is the transformation of the wolf stuff is kind of gross, but in a theatrical way. It's just but it's not goopy gloppy. This isn't The Howling. This isn't American Werewolf in Paris. It's not
slick, but not bloody.
Yeah, it's disturbing looking, definitely. I would give content warnings for that level of body horror, the creepy dolls and animals. There's a vaguely... I think I addressed this earlier just because we cast a 14-year-old and we're dealing with a 12-year-old, and there's a vaguely rapey vibe to the movie to me. That
statutory
rapey vibe that I think of. We've seen a lot of those types of movies in the 70s and 80s, but this one probably handles it the best because I think the source material...
The classiest of them, but it is still present.
They give the girl so much agency, and they make it her story, so that makes it a little bit less so disturbing realm. So I would say 8 out of 10 in terms of approachability. To speak nothing of approachability, Cecil, how do you rate this as a horror film?
As a horror film, it's pretty great. I mean, also like, come on. It's a little more fantastical. It's a little more fantasy based, which, I love.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch something like this than like The Hills Have Eyes or Last House on the Left, which are true horror films.
Right.
But this has show me something cool to look at vibe. And then you add to the fact that it has not one, not two, but 3 different werewolf transitions, which is kind of the hallmark of all werewolf movies. And they handle them in 3 distinct ways. Like, this movie's doing it. It's doing the work. Is it going to like jump out and scare you? Probably not. But really cool to look at. So for that reason, I would say, like 7 out of 10. Mirrors found in a stork's nest.
Okay, great. Well, let's figure out what movie we're going to watch next. You've got a scare die. I've got a style die. We'll roll those up and see what movie matches those 2 things. Cecil, on your scare die, if you roll a 1, our next movie's scare is spirits. 2, a monster. 3, a zombie. 4, family is our scare. 5, vampire. 6, alien. What is our scare?
That's a 2.
Monster.
It's a monster mash.
It is. Okay, we're going to match up your monster movie with the style that I roll. If I roll a 1, our monster movie needs to be horror adjacent. 2, it's got to start with the word the. 3, it's got to be horror homework, essential horror viewing. 4, a wild card, whatever monster movie we want. 5, a foreign language film. Or 6, a suburban monster film. Let's see what we got here. I got a 4. I got wild card. We hit wild card 3 weeks in a row, Cecil.
Oh my goodness.
Wild card.
Ooh. Okay, oh gosh, no, wait, okay. Oh, I have a controversial pick on here that I need to decide if I'm going to keep or toss.
Do you want me to go through mine first, or do you want to talk about yours first so I can help you work through it?
No, I think I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to let it ride.
All right, so the way our wild card works, if you've listened the last 2 weeks, you already know this. We both picked 3 movies. We're going to talk about the 3 movies each of us picked, and then we'll roll a die 1 through 6. One of those movies will be selected. What did you pick, Cecil?
For my monster movies, first off, Jurassic Park.
Unbelievable.
Like, not only a great film in general, but a terrifying monster movie. And just because those monsters may have once existed doesn't mean they're not monsters.
Yeah.
The second pick is a little bit all over the place, but it's one that I think would be really fun to talk about for the show, and that is Nightbreed.
And you just referenced that earlier as far as
So Clive Barker, so this movie has got a touch of the gay in all aspects of it. The gay gaze, the gay male gaze.
I can't come into work today. I have a touch
of the gaze. Oh, it's all in my throat. I gotta like steam it out or something. But no, there's a whole like city of monsters in this.
Okay. And
listen, we get them.
Okay, great.
Now the last one I picked is a movie that I have not seen since probably it came out, and I know the director turned out to be a bit of a creep. But I kind of want to go back and revisit this movie that I have not seen since literally I saw it on like USA Cable, and that is Jeepers Creepers.
I have heard this title before, but I am unfamiliar with this movie in everything but title.
I think it'll make an interesting discussion. One, because you haven't seen it, and that's always a fun time to get like somebody's fresh read on something. But I don't know. I've heard I don't know. It'll be interesting to kind of look at it from a analytical point of view rather than just like, I don't know, let's watch a movie.
What year would this have come out?
God, was it 2000s?
Oh, yeah, 2001.
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure I had the right one. Interesting. Oh, yeah, this is very early Justin Long. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just throwing that out there.
Okay, nice.
What about you, Jeffrey?
I will tell you the three that I put on here. I've got a modern one and a couple of classics that I've never seen. The modern one I have seen, but I saw it in the theater as the last time I saw it, and that is Pan's Labyrinth.
Fairies in
Oh my God.
in 1930s Spain.
Yeah, in fascist World War II Spain. And yeah, just so much monster in this movie.
Oh my God, absolutely.
And also, like, I think, yeah, just my favorite monster of all time, which is the one that has the eyes on his. Yeah, just walking around. If you do this over your eyes and just go, bleh, everyone knows who you're talking about.
Yep, pretty much. Classic.
Okay, the other two that I have never seen, Bride of Frankenstein.
Me neither.
This is horror homework, and it's funny because this is one of those movies that gets listed as where the sequel is probably better than the original.
I know, I'm really curious.
And then finally, it's just a classic of silent cinema, 1920s, The Golem, or How He Came into the World.
I've not seen this either.
I haven't either, and I am only topically familiar with the Golem as creature.
I kind of know the basic story, but I don't know the details of it for sure.
Yeah, and not being Jewish, I didn't grow up with this folklore at all, so it's relatively new to me.
I do know the true name of God, and I write it on everything to make it come to life.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's really great.
Like my coffee cup, my dresser drawers.
On the tip line, you just write the true name of God instead of a dollar amount, because it's worth far more than money.
That's right.
Could buy.
Come to life. Breathe life into it.
Okay, so those are our 6 movies. I think I rolled last week.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so I think you roll. So 1, Jurassic Park. 2, Nightbreed. 3, Jeepers Creepers. 4, Pan's Labyrinth. 5, Bride of Frankenstein. And 6, The Golem.
That's a 2.
We're going to watch Nightbreed.
Oh my God,
okay.
I can't wait. I love this movie.
I'm excited. Not seen Nightbreed ever before, so this is thrilling. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Cecil, for talking with me. And if you have thoughts on The Company of Wolves or ideas for what would be your wild card monster movie, let us know. We're at Random Horror 9 on Blue Sky, Instagram, and on Patreon. And at Patreon, we have public discussion threads for every episode, and you don't have to be a paying member to participate and watch Nightbreed with us this week, and come on back next Tuesday for a new episode. Have a restful night with no shitty little sisters dreaming up your wolf death or nothing. Boo.
Boo.
Hey, it's Jeffrey jumping in one more time to remind you to watch the original Saw from 2004. Or don't. Either way, just join us this Saturday, August 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Please note the earlier start time this month, 1 p.m. Eastern, for our monthly live stream over at patreon.com/randomhorror9. Our live streams are only $5, and Patreons get to help us pick the film. Of course, they get to be part of every live stream, and they get access to our back catalog of more than 60 previous live streams. Some of my favorites have been Phantom of the Paradise, Candyman, Happiness of the Katakuris. We've watched some great ones. So join our Patreon for only $5 and then join us this Saturday, August 15th at 1 p.m. New York time over at patreon.com/randomhorror9 to talk about Saw from 2004. Okay, now here are your credits and scary story. Boo. Random Number Generator Horror Podcast number 9 is hosted by me, Jeffrey Craner, and Cecil Baldwin. Find more of our work on the podcast. Welcome to Night Vale. This show is produced by Night Vale Presents. It is edited by me with music by Cecil and logo by David Baldwin. See original artwork for each episode by David on Instagram. Join us for live streams on Patreon. Watch our recording sessions on YouTube. Chat with us on Blue Sky and contribute to our movie selection process on Letterboxd. We're in all of those places at Random Horror 9. Today's scary story. My, what big eyes you have, you tell your grandmother in the woods. Thanks for noticing, she says. I just had them enlarged.
I see you.
Avatar: Fire and Ash is now streaming on Disney+. It's the film critics are calling the best Avatar yet.
Yeah! Go, 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 go!
A true epic and completely jaw-dropping.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
Return to Pandora on Disney+.
It will be an adventure for the whole family.
And watch the Oscar-winning phenomenon at home.
This is sick!
Avatar: Fire and Ash, now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG-13.
Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry. Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable. From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces, ready to be engraved with your summer mantra. Each design moves with you, from beach days to golden nights, and every memory in between. Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection, in-store or online at pandora.net, and let your summer unfold.